Hi, I'm Lucius, and today I'm having a quick look at uTire. uTire gives you realistic tire deformation to any wheel in Unity. In addition to the built-in wheel collider, it also supports the vehicle's Physics Pro wheel collider and the wheel controller 3D, which is included in NWH vehicle controller. At the time of this recording, uTire only have 6 ratings on the asset store, but they are all 5-star ratings, and I have to agree with that. It supports all of Unity's render pipelines, but I have only tried it with the built-in render pipeline. uTire includes 2 demo scenes. This is the uTire example scene. It shows the capabilities of the tire deformation, and it's really nice to see that it can handle deformation from any direction and from multiple directions. As you can see, this tire is receiving pressure from 3 directions. If I move it like this, you see how it changes. And if I move this cube, you can see that the deformation changes. So it seems very capable. Next we have the dynamic example. I recorded this at 60 FPS and now I'm playing it at 30 in order to get a better view of the deformation in action. As you can see, it deforms nicely, and it also updates the wheel collider and changes the radius depending on the deformation. So now that I've shown what uTire is, I will add it to a real project. This is an off-road driving game I've been working on. It uses the NWH vehicle controller, so I'll be using the integration for wheel controller 3D. Adding deformation is just a matter of selecting all wheel meshes, then adding the uTire component to them, just like this. When you first add deformation to a tire, you need to change its material to a uTire material. You can do that simply by clicking this button. But if you click it, it will set all materials to the uTire material. And in most cases I guess that will be good, but in this case the wheel mesh has 2 different materials. So I will just set the tire to be a uTire material, and I will leave the rim at its original settings. At the moment you can't see any deformation, and that's because the entire car is hanging in the air. So if I move the tire down like this, you can see the deformation. But let's run it and see what it looks like. As you can see, there is some deformation going on, and it looks as expected. To take this to the next level, you can add the uTire dynamic component to the wheel controller. So I just select all wheel controllers and add the component. And I already know that the default air pressure value of 0.5 is far too low in this case, so I'll change it to 1, and we should still get a lot of deformation. So let's play it and have a look. And it still deforms as expected. What's interesting is that the inflation pressure now affects the visual deformation, so by decreasing the pressure you can simulate a flat tire. And with the dynamic component, the air pressure will also affect the radius of the wheel controller, and that in turn will of course affect the behavior of the car. Well, that was uTire dynamic tire deformation. It might not be the first asset you get for a game, but when you start to work on the final touches, I think it's a nice asset to have. It looks good, and at $29.99 I don't think there's much reason to hesitate. And that's it for now. Like, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon.